Okay. Hello, I'm Apocalypse, the Geek Guru, and today I'm going to be talking about Lord of the Rings again because I've just learned something about the photos that I showed yesterday. Ooh, taken out of context, that might not sound too good. Okay, so yesterday I made a video about Lord of the Rings of Power, and some of the images that we've seen, some of the first images that we've seen, namely these three and that picture of Gladwell right there. Okay, now the reason I'm making this video is because I wasn't sure who that woman in the middle there was. I wasn't sure who this was. I thought she was just some random, like, gonna be just, some woman. Obviously important to the series because she's like one of the four images they've shown. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about this again is because apparently this is a dwarf woman, some dwarf princess. And that is really irritating because dwarf women should look more like, I don't know, this. Like, is this her sister? But seriously though, dwarf women are supposed to have beards. They mention that in the movie, in both The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. When Gimli is talking to the woman. God, I need to watch these again. I need to watch those again. But he's talking to this woman, and Gimli's saying that you rarely ever see dwarf women, and even if you did, they're hardly distinguishable from men. I mean, from the dwarf men. And then the woman looks over at Aragon. Aragon. Aragon? That's his name, right? Why does that sound so weird? Aragorn? Someone over there. Anyway, he kind of whispers, the beards. So, saying that dwarf women have beards. And then in the Hobbit, when they get captured by elves, Legolas is like, who is this creature? Your brother? And he's like, that's my wife. So it's like, it's been established that dwarf women have beards. So why does this woman, like, if you go back and look at if you go, like, I'm about to pull up the picture of it's not Gimli. Well, it's Gimli's mom, but it'd be Gloin. Yeah, Gimli's son of Gloin. But she's got a beard, and it's like this just goes to show that they don't care about the lore. They don't care about being true to the source material. All they care about is just shoving, their modern day politics into whatever they can find, anything they can find. Wife. And I talked yesterday about how, like, first off, I don't think there are any black dwarves. Like, they don't. Oh, that's a terrible picture. There it is. Okay. He's like, that's my wife. And she's got a beard. So again, they just don't care. And like, one of the executive producers said that, when we wanted to make an adaptation of Tolkien's work, we thought it would be natural to make the world, make it seem more like the real world. That's their excuse for making it more diverse. And it's like, this is a fantasy world. It's not meant to look like our world. You wanted to make it look more like the real world? Then why does this dude have ears? Why aren't all the elves You know, where's the Asian people? Where are the Asian people now that I think about it? If this is so diverse, I haven't seen this. All I'm seeing are black and white people. You know, if they really wanted to be diverse, where are the Asian people? Where are the Hispanic people? Not that I want, not that that's what I want this show to be, because that's not what the Lord of the Rings is about. It's about this fantasy world. It's not about our modern day politics. I just hate how they're using one of the greatest like franchises ever, like one of the greatest series ever, and just to promote their own modern day politics, just to promote the message. Thank you, Drake. But yeah, it is so. I just want to talk about that because I was wondering yesterday, like, who is this woman? Well, actually, I wasn't really wondering. I was just sort of, I didn't really care. I I'm just so apathetic. Like, I just have no feelings for this anymore. Like, not even anymore. Like when they first announced, like, oh, the Lord of the Rings, we're gonna make a new series. I was just like, oh, not them too. Like, not the Lord of the Rings too. Like, what? Come on. Make up your own stuff. Make your own fantasy world full of diverse people in an oddly European setting, medieval European setting. Like, just go ahead, screw it. No one's gonna care. If you make your own stuff and make it as diverse as you want, no one will give a shit. That's not why people are upset. People are upset because it's not the fact that there are black people cast in the show. It's not the fact that they're black that bothers me. It's the fact that they're playing characters that aren't black. That's what bugs people, or at least me. It's like this isn't what these characters are supposed to look like. You know, I've heard people talk about how if we made a fantasy setting in Africa, like, you know, if you have some sort of fantasy setting in Africa, there would be no, it'd be weird if there were like a bunch of Asian people in the African tribe. You know, even though it's a fantasy, it's still set in a location that is like recognizable to us. You know, it's still set in a location that would have demographics, that would have a population of people similar to ours. What I mean by that is like I said, when you set something in a place like, you know, Africa, it's like you're gonna, those native tribes, you know, even if it's a fantasy setting, it would still make sense for those native tribes to be black. If you have it set in like a fantasy Asia, it would make sense for the native people there to be Asian. Like, you know, so Lord of the Rings is set in a European area. So it makes sense for the people there to be white. And as I mentioned in my last video, which I'm restating a lot of the stuff that I said in that one, but whatever. Yeah, if you're gonna, this is set in Europe. It would make sense for the people there to be mostly white. And like, oh, that's what I lost my train of thought for a second. It's not that there weren't black people in the Lord of the Rings. Like I said, they just lived somewhere else. They didn't live where the main story was happening. You know? So if you want to have a Lord of the Rings story with black people, they already exist. You don't have to go and cherry pick out, like, you know, you don't have to freaking try and make things diverse by like picking out one color and then replacing it with another. Like, that's all they're doing. I've talked about this in another one of my videos. It's like, if they really want diversity, make new stuff. Like, but not with the Lord of the Rings. Don't make new characters with the Lord of the Rings. There's already like 700 of them. Characters, not pages in the book, characters. There's like 700 of them. You don't need to add more to that. And again, if you want to make it more diverse, tell it, have the story be interacting with the people that are, you know, don't just make the characters, don't just color swap the characters because that's messed up. Because if it didn't, and it just goes to show that they don't care about the content. They care more about the color of a person's skin than who they are really. That's what it comes down to. If they didn't care about the color of someone's skin, they wouldn't have felt the need to come in and change it. It's not racist, it's not bigoted for me to want things to be left like the way they are in the source material. It's not racist for me to not want things to be changed, like already established like characters to be changed to something else. That's not racist. It's more racist for you to come in and be like, "Oh no, this character needs to be changed to a different color. I don't like the color of this character." That's what it comes down to. They don't like the color of this character, so they're going to change it to look more like them. As a, it's so stupid. So yeah, like, before I start, I'm gonna stop before I keep just restating points. Uh, Trying to think if there's anything else. Any other pictures? Oh yeah, there's Galadriel. Real Galadriel. This is the Galadriel we want. Not not this crap. I mean, like, and it's like if they wanted to just make like an elven warrior woman, they could have done that. Who the hell is that dude? Oh yeah, that's another thing. All the freaking elves, all the male elves have like short hair. I think he looks like an elf. Like the male elves, I've never even seen a male elf with a short hair. What is this, like thousands of years ago? So it's like, oh, their hair hasn't grown out yet. What the hell? That's probably like that's probably Galadriel's like gay brother or something. But like he's persecuted because the elves are like super like conservative or whatever. They don't like gay people or something. Like that's how I could see this shit going. Like it's just based on this picture. It's just so like oh my god. Just all these pictures just suck. Like like what the hell is that even supposed to be? I mean, obviously it's a gauntleted hand holding some sort of sword, I assume. But I mean, like, am I supposed to get excited about this? Like, oh my god, a hand! It could be Sauron's. Oh, oh, this show's gonna be great. Oh, oh. No, that looks a lot like Bilbo's, like what Bilbo was wearing in uh not just The Hobbit, but like the second movie, The Desolation of Smaug, when they change outfits at that what's his name, Bjorn, the bear dude, the dude who can turn into a bear. Like when they change outfits at his house, like it looks like what Bilbo is wearing. Okay, like I'm sure visually it's gonna be really stunning. Like how could it not be? It's got it's a freaking modern day TV series. Like it's hard to if you got like it's got the budget for it. Like so, I'm sure visually it's gonna look pretty cool. But you can, what was that old saying? Like you can pretty up a pig as much as you want. It's still just a pig. Or what? No, this is a better one would be you can sprinkle like you can put glitter on a turd. It's still a turd. That's what this is gonna be. You got like the two trees back there. I'm not even gonna attempt to get into the lore of uh, Lord of the Rings. I've watched videos. I've watched I've watched several videos. I've rewatched the videos several times, and I still barely get this shit. It's got something to do with like a song and glowing trees, and it's like the Bible on acid. It's awesome. But it's just so hard for me to like wrap my head around. It's a long story. Something about like music made the universe and shit like that. I don't know. It's crazy though. Ah, Remember this. Remember how great this was? Well, look what it's become. Sorry I had to do that to you, everybody. Oh, man. Good times. Good times. Rudy. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll about cover that. Is there anything else? I think there was something. Oh, well. So, yeah, that's the disaster that is going to be the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Just leave these franchises alone. That's my message to Hollywood. Just leave this alone. You are digging your own grave. Because people are just going out and making their own shit now. Like, look at the Daily Wire. I just watched the trailer for Terror on the Prairie with Gina Carano. Looked awesome. I think I might watch Shut In later. But so yeah, like people are like Hollywood needs to look out, because normal people, like regular people, are coming for them. I mean, you got people like Eric July. He's doing the Rippaverse. Interested to see how that's gonna do. It'll be cool to see like a diverse character that isn't diverse just for diversity's sake. You know, it'll be cool to see a character that's actually like has an interesting story. I miss those. I miss good characters with good stories. And I don't think we're going to get that from Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead, leave a like, share, subscribe. If you didn't like it, let me know why. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching.